Hey guys, welcome to a brand new YouTube video. I did not mean to record it in this format. I normally do the landscape, but my tripod stand is not cooperating, so the show must go on. And I'm just so excited to have another Soul Chat, more motivation Soul Chat. We haven't had one in a while, and I'm ready. As you can see, the mood is set in my room. And we are going to really get into my favorite love story, a love story that I am experiencing now with the absence of other love stories that I was pouring into. But now I get to rebuild a love story that has carried me my whole life. And if you know me, you should already know what I'm talking about. I am rebuilding my love story with Jesus, and he wants me to tell y'all all about it. I didn't even expect to be in a position I have to tell y'all all about it, but that's what the good news is. You just can't keep it to yourself. So I got my sparkling lemonade from Trader Joe's. Get you some. You can get your water, your tea, whatever you need to really just be able to get comfortable in this soul chat. I need you to just grab it. We're going to go in the spirit tonight. Or whatever time of day you're watching this. And my hair is semi-done, but I'm just loving this little new bonnet thing I got from the hair store. Y'all, I be living in the hair store. I don't know. That place is probably worse than Target, for me at least. I be finding everything I need in the hair store. But I'm just so ready to get into this soul chat. So, what does it look like to rebuild a love story with God? It looks like your dirty laundry finally exploding the door of the closet that you filled all your junk in, that you tried to hide from God. And then it looks like you finally just opening that door of dirty laundry, of clutter, of junk, and finally just saying, hey, let's just deal with the smell. Let's deal with the hoarding and how bad it is to hoard your own junk, your own mess that you did not involve God in. And now you're heartbroken from people that God never meant from you. You're tormented from experiences that God never meant for you. And you're mad at him for things that he never designed for you because you've been out of his will for so long, you don't even know how to get back to him. So to rebuild a life with God, to rebuild a love story with Jesus, it literally looks like you surrendering. It looks like you getting your hands off of everything that you try to control, on the spreadsheets that you try to make over your life, all the things that you plan without God's consent, all the things that you try to understand with your own human mind, trying to understand people with your own human natural thinking. It's going to look like you having a new, almost instinct in the spirit, because now at this stage in your life, when you fail so much, when you've been heartbroken so much, or you've been broken so much, this stage in your life, you know that doing it your way, it's not an option anymore. At least that's how it's been for me. And just to give a little background on my story, in the last couple months, I have probably felt the most tormented by God, really between, I would say, February of this year till, I want to say April. I was just heavy in sin, very confused, very lukewarm, not trusting where I was with Christ. I was all over the place. And I was allowing the enemy to destroy my mind. I was allowing the enemy to give me the lie that I wasn't worthy of the love that I was seeking out so much, that I wasn't worthy of even loving myself during this very isolated, lonely season. And I remember feeling just so hurt about the people who broke my heart, about the people who left me, the people that wasn't what I wanted them to be. And then the minute I stopped blaming people and I finally surrendered to God's presence, I finally didn't accept depression, that it had to be my lifestyle. I finally just said, you know what? I do know who I serve. I do have an inheritance. I am under such a covering, even at my church, the Faith Center. Why in the world am I pretending like I don't know who I am and whose I am in this season? Why am I allowing doubt and fear and worry and anxiety to give me a new identity that God and Jesus never meant for me? And a lot of you right now, you're trying to get over exes, you're trying to get over death, you're trying to get over, legal cases, heartbreak in so many different ways. You're trying to smoke through it. You're trying to drink through it. You're trying to go out every night to get through it. You're trying to do it your way. And in your mind, you think it's working. And a lot of times when we are distant from God, we do build a delusion that keeps us from surrendering to his presence, that makes us think that we're doing it all on our own, that we're strong enough to actually heal ourselves, that we're strong enough to not go back to the same toxic cycles, not realizing that surrendering to God shows that your strength was never supposed to be enough. It was to never, you can't, what God is about to bring you through and bring you out of is not going to require the muscle mass that you gained in the gym for the past year. It's literally going to require you to trust him with everything. To say, God, my bank account is low. God, my marriage is failing. God, my kids not listening to me. God, that man broke my heart again and I keep going back. God, I can't stop smoking. I can't stop drinking. God, I'm depressed and I don't know what to do. When you go to him in that desperation posture to say, God, I do not have the strength to do this on my own. I'm not supposed to. I need you to come into my mind and change my perspective. I need you to show me that there's a better way than the way I've been doing it. I need you. When you come to somebody, when you come to Jesus like that versus just going to humans like that, you will realize that you don't have to be disappointed. You don't have to overthink what that conversation with Jesus will look like when you finally surrender to him. When you finally say, hey, Jesus, I know you like that. I know it's been a while since we talked. Realizing that he'll accept you at any season in your life. He'll accept you funky, dirty. Look at the people that followed Jesus in the Bible. These disciples were filthy. They were dirty. They doubted him constantly. They were afraid. There was many times they didn't know what they was doing. But at some point, they had to surrender that I have the evidence right next to me and I'm still doubting it. I'm literally able to walk with Jesus. Just imagine that. If you were his disciple in those times, in those crazy times, probably crazier than now. Just imagine if you could really just trust God if he's right there with you, physically there. We don't even have God, Jesus, physically with us. So imagine if we was in those times when he was physically with us, showing us evidence of why he is God in human form. Can you imagine if he was in those times? But the fact that his love was so reckless, even when they were reckless in sin, that his reckless love can meet you in your doubts. His reckless love can meet you when you're questioning if this God thing is even worth it, if this church thing is worth it. What's the point of even going back to this building if I still ain't got the money that I need? And when you make God your first priority, he will do a new thing in you. He will transform your thinking. He'll transform how you are as a friend, how you are as a brother, as a sister, as a cousin, as a mother, as a father, as a grandmother, as a grandfather. He will change everything about your nature, the Holy Spirit. And then another thing about falling in love with Jesus, thank you, Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit will now be like the Sebastian to your Ariel. So everything that Jesus wants to show you, he'll give the Holy Spirit the message to say, hey, go with her here, go with her there, tell her this, tell her that, show her that this is actually not meant to hurt her, show her that I still love her even though she keep talking about that same crazy night that she can't get over. The Holy Spirit will meet you wherever you invite him. And that's why I get into a habit now of just, Holy Spirit, come with me. Show me what you're trying to teach me at this gym. What you're trying to teach me in this grocery store. What you're trying to show me on this car ride over here. What are you trying to do? So that way I don't always go into every environment thinking naturally, not realizing that I have a spiritual almost power to tap in with the Holy Spirit and say, hey, you coming with me? I know I normally like my friend to go with me to this thing, but are you coming? Because I actually want you to be there with me. A lot of you, you seek people to be your guide. You seek people to be your therapist when they are broken themselves, when they need to be free, when they need to surrender. And you're adding more trauma to them because you don't want to go to God about it first. You're adding trauma to other people's story because you're overwhelming them with your junk, not realizing that God is meant to handle your junk. Jesus is meant to handle your dirty laundry. He's meant to put your clothes in the washer and put the right detergent in it at the right season, at the right time. He's meant to do that. And he's jealous, and he will remove the people that you exalt higher than him. When you make certain friends your idols, when you make certain relationships your idols, he will allow those relationships to hurt you at the right time so he can get your attention to realize that he is enough. Jesus is enough. He's enough. You don't gotta get plastic surgery to feel this love. You don't have to put on makeup to feel this love. You don't got to get your hair done to be worthy of this love story. You are beautiful and you are enough for Jesus exactly where you are right now. And if you're watching this and you feel broken and you feel alone and you feel like you want to give up on life, I'm telling you right now that your existence is one of the best things that's ever happened to this earth. You may not understand it. You may not see the value in your existence. You may not understand why God allowed you to still be on your earth, but he took your friend, but he took your mother or your father. He took that person. You may not have no clue why in the world he keep giving your foolish behind chances. But that's how much he loves you. You're not supposed to understand it. That's why it's so special. I love y'all so much. And I just want to keep loving people even when they don't expect love out of me. I want to keep responding in love. I want God to keep showing me that even when people break my heart, I can still pray for them. Even when I don't want to, I can still be there for them in a different way. Even if they're not meant to walk with me physically, I can still be there for them from a spiritual love standpoint. And they can feel that even from afar. That the more I'm obedient, that the people that have hurt my feelings can feel that love from afar. And that's just the best gift you can give to anybody. It's better than revenge. It's better than even a long drawn essay text. It's better than a voice note. To love Jesus out loud, unapologetically, it literally brings so many souls back to him, to show them that I can have that love story too. That it's not only designed to certain pastors or pastors' kids or the people who don't go to the club or the people who don't smoke. No, it's meant for anybody at any point in your life. Jesus can find you. He can meet you. He can love you. He's not religion. He's not even really a church building. He is an experience. And that when you get to just really just try him for real, he'll show you that everything that you heard, everything you thought you knew, that he's so much more complex than your little bitty human mind could even perceive. He's not supposed to fit into your bubble. He's not supposed to move at your time. He's an exclusive experience that we get to have in such an evil world. And a lot of times we take it for granted what it is to love Jesus before we reach heaven. We forget the gift that gives us. It's the gift that keeps on giving. And so I'm glad that I have this inheritance. I love you. Y'all have a great rest of your night, rest of your day. If you're listening to me in the morning, I love you. You're going to have a great day. And Jesus just wants to talk to you. So find time today to talk to him. Ask him, what is this little crazy girl on YouTube called More Motivation? Why is she telling me to talk to you? What you want to tell me, God? He'll show you. I love y'all so much. Thank you so much for listening. And make sure you subscribe. Like, duh. Like, join the family. I don't bite, but I'll pray for you. I love you.